Even though Christmas is over, I'm going to show you the Christmas cards because I did not show these during a vlog, and I wanted to just give it some time to make sure I had gotten them all. So this card is from Martin and Esther, and it has like a little 3D effect. I love that, how it sticks out like that. It's very, very cute vintage Santa. And then this card is from Becky. And it has little like you can feel the glitter on there. Probably can't see it, but it's very pretty. And then this next one is from Jean with Warm Thoughts of You. Very, very cute, a snowman. And then this is from Brian, and I love this. This has the little like 3D effect on it. And then Charlie Brown actually has a little pom-pom, and I think that is just adorable. And then this card is from a mystery member. So this person is a member of our community, but I'm not going to say this person's name because this person also gave us, inside this was a $100 Visa gift card, which we will absolutely use towards reviews. So not only does this person support me every month, but then this person gave me the $100 gift card, which is greatly appreciated. So we really appreciate that, and they know who they are. And then this Christmas card is from Maria, so thank you very much to Maria. It just says Happy Holidays, but it has a really cool picture of Santa standing on a rooftop holding the bag of toys. This is from Techno Squid. Techno Squid is a member not only on YouTube, but he's also a member on Patreon, and he's been supporting us for years on YouTube and Patreon, and he gives the most fun little Christmas gifts. Not little at all, but he gives the most fun Christmas gifts. So he got us this candle. It's Scottish shortbread, notes of butter, sugar, and vanilla. This is the Lighthearted Candle Company in South Milford, Indiana. I've never even heard of them, but it does smell very sweet, like sugar cookies, and so that's exactly what I like. And then he gave us some C's. So it's funny because he had told me he put in a big order of C's, and I thought, oh, his family's going to love him. Well, we love him too, because he sent us the limited time eggnog truffles, the Black Forest truffles, and the white mint truffles. We have reviewed all three of these on the channel before. I believe the eggnog truffles and the mint were in one video, and then the Black Forest was in a different video, and we reviewed all of these. It's been 9 years ago, but so we're just gonna be able to enjoy those. And then he also sent us, he always not only does he watches our videos, and he knows that we love Cane's, and so he gave us 2 Cane's gift cards, which they say they could be from $15 to $200. I have no idea. They don't say on there how much is on there, but hey, any amount is appreciated. But not only does he support my channel, but he also supports Kevin's Lunchtime Review channel by watching him every day doing his lunchtime reviews. And so he's gave us a $25 gift card for Wendy's, and then a $25 gift card for Taco Bell. And Kevin will absolutely use those. And Kevin's favorite thing is the Frosty from Wendy's, and he always loves Taco Bell as well. So thank you very, very much to Techno Squid, but thank you to everyone who thought of us and sent us a card. We really appreciate you all doing that, because postage is getting expensive, and just to send a card, the prices have gone up, but we greatly appreciate this. In last week's vlog, I showed you what I got for Christmas from Andrew and Christina. They got me a bunch of cookbooks. And so I've gone through all the cookbooks, and she had said that there's like little papers and stuff like that throughout the cookbooks. This one did not have any papers in it at all. This is one that I went through, and I didn't see any recipes right offhand that I wanted to do. Now, that doesn't mean I won't come back to it and look through it if I'm looking for something specific or whatever. You know, it's just like things hit you differently at different times that you want to make. I get in moods for sure. And so, or I get cravings. So for right now, this barbecue will go on the shelf. So then also, I did not find anything in this book that I want to make right away. Now, if Kevin had looked through this book, he probably would have found a bunch of stuff, because Kevin is really good with breads. He's really good with his hands, and he has a better understanding, I think, of bread in general than I do. And so he probably would have found a bunch of stuff in here. And if he's ever looking for a different bread recipe, he'll probably come and look in this, because it's more than just like common bread. It's like sweet breads and everything. I mean, they had some stuff that sounded good. It's just that I didn't pick anything for now. But I wanted to show you, like she said that there were magazine articles or different things like that in some of these. And so I wanted to show you the things I found. Okay, so this is the only one in this one. This is from our local Lexington paper. It's called the Lexington Herald Leader. This is from 2000. So to me, that does not sound like it was very long ago, but you're talking about, 25 years ago, because it came out in September. So about 25 years ago, and this was talking about the tour of remodeled homes. And it's just really, I guess this group had remodeled some homes, and so this is just an ad for that. And then there's a bunch of like realtors. There's the furniture companies that were advertised in here. So it's always nice to see old stuff like this. And I'm sure if I looked closer, there are businesses in here that aren't even, places in here that aren't even in business anymore. So like, for example, Another Man's Treasure is advertised right here on Southland Drive. I do not believe they've also got one on Clay's Mill. That is not where I remember that being now. So anyway, that I'm sure there's more places in there. But those two books I didn't find anything in. Okay, so then the ones that I did find stuff in, I found two in this meat cookbook, but I thought it was neat. I'll show you what the person had. This is really cool, and I may have found even 3 recipes, because I forgot. This recipe sounds really good that she had, I'm assuming it was a woman. It could have been a man's cookbook. But she had put this, I'm going to say she had put this recipe in this book. And this is really cool. It's from January 16th, 2011, Parade Magazine. Whoever remembers Parade Magazine, I used to look at it all the time. But this is Patricia Heaton. Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond. That's what I know her from. But this, she was also in the newer Frasier. But this is from the middle. It's saying that she's, Patricia Heaton, star of ABC's The Middle, which I've never watched that before. But she shares her recipe for Italian meatballs, and it sounds really easy. So I may do that at some point, but I also found 2 other recipes in here. But then the person who had this cookbook had a recipe for Italian meatballs. And then they have another one for, it looks like it says Carolyn, and then it says Spa Sauce Radio. I have no idea what that is. I mean, it sounds like a spaghetti sauce, but, oh, spaghetti sauce. She just wrote out SPA. I've never seen that before. Okay. And then she has one for deep dish pizza, which, if it's this involved, then I would rather buy it for $5 in the frozen department. I mean, really. This one is for lasagna. And we've done a bunch of lasagnas on the channel. And then this is another one for meatballs. And then this is one for lasagna. And this is the front and the back of the paper for lasagna. But I did find a couple of recipes in here that I'm interested in making. So those will be like dinner recipes because they're meats. And then we have, I found some of this one. There were 2. I found 2 recipes in this book. This is the Encyclopedia of Cooking for Better Homes and Gardens. And I just wanted to show you, because I think it's cool when you find little things like this. This is for a white sauce. And then she's telling, I guess it's in a Better Homes and Gardens cook, or no, it's in a Betty Crocker book. But it's for a white sauce. So that was the only thing in here. But I did find 2 recipes. And then this is a holiday cookbook. I was very excited about this. This, I had to be real careful with this. This is just a blank piece of paper that was in here. This was really delicate, and I wish I could tell when it was from. If I did a Google image search, I would probably be able to see. But it is for Baker's Angel Flake Coconut. I never saw the Easter Bunny until Baker's Coconut. And look at his little floppy ears. Kevin's mom made one of these cakes, and it was the best cake with coconut on it. But her ears just went like up to here. It didn't have the little like flop over the side like that. I think that's so cool. So I don't know where this ad is from, because it just says, oh, it's from McCall's. It's from McCall's, but I don't know what year it's from because it's so delicate. And it's, the bottom of it has fallen apart. So, but I thought that was a neat find. So I found, how many recipes? Just one. I just got one recipe out of this book. Now, I'm sure there were a lot more, but just, like I said, cravings, all that, whatever I'm in the mood to make. Okay, and then the Better Homes and Gardens all-time favorite cake and cookie recipes. I found a bunch of recipes in here that I want to make. But I wanted to show you, I did find an ad. Spread a little happiness with your own homemade jam. And this is for Sure-Gel and Certo. I don't know that. Certo Jams and Jellies. I don't even know if this company is in I know the Sure-Gel is, but I don't know about that other. I've never seen that before. And this is from, let's see. I thought this one had a date on it. Yes, this is from McCall's, July 1975 is when that's from. And then this is a stuffed cabbage German style recipe. And then on the back it has a the Family Circus. It's from 1976. So I love finding little things like that. But look at all these tabs. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs in this book. And then the one, to be quite honest, that I never thought I would find any recipes in, I found all kinds. So all of these, it doesn't matter whether it's a yellow tab or a red tab, it's just what I had. That's what I used. But this is the tea cookbook. So what was cool about this is I thought it was just going to be all tea, but it wasn't. It was like for, yes, it has recipes that use tea, but it's also like if you're having an afternoon tea, what would you serve at that afternoon tea? And this is the first book I looked through, so I found this. Oh, I want to show you something else on this. So this basically says, "Dear friend, we are pleased to send you your copy of the Tea Cookbook. After you've explored its pages of information and recipes for delightful drinks and a variety of dishes, you'll probably want additional copies. What a delightful gift for a friend. That new bride or bride-to-be, originally sold at $3.95 in retail stores, Lipton had an additional supply printed to bring you this unique book with its delicious, easy-to-prepare recipes at about a quarter of the publisher's price." So they're saying, use the order form to send for as many books as you wish. Simply mail a Lipton tea box top or Lipton instant tea inner seal and $1 for each book ordered. Now, I have always wanted to try that. Like, if I bought a box of Lipton right now and I sent this and mailed it, like, would they honor this? Because I think that would be hilarious for them to get this and be like, where in the world did you get this? And then them try to come up with something to send me. Because you know they don't have any more of these. So I just think that would be so funny to do that and see what happened. So I like this ad for the tea cookbook. So this has over 200 recipes. And then they're advertising records. Moonlight Serenade, Satisfying Rhythms with Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra. Glenn Miller, I love that. Rockin' with the Astronauts. The Big New Sound of the Astronauts with 10 modern song hits. I've never even heard that. I bet you if you looked up Rockin' with the Astronauts on YouTube, they probably have a video. And then here's an ad for 4 reversible placemats. And so here's your handy order form. So like if I send this to Lipton, how could they possibly turn me down, right? Because I think that would be so cool. But I love the store coupon because it just seems fancy. It says store coupon, 8 cents. 8 cents towards the purchase of 12 or 24 family-size Lipton flow-through tea bags. I wonder if this has a date on it. Like, is there a use by? Like, usually an expiration date? I don't see one. I swear this doesn't have an expiration date on it. So I could probably, I should be able to take this to Walmart right now and use this and get 8 cents off because there's no date. And we have a woman at Walmart. She's been there for years. She is a stickler for the coupons. Of course, I quit using coupons a long time ago. But anyway, I just think that I've always wondered what would happen if I tried to mail that in. But the cookbook, I did not think, honestly, when I opened that from Christina and Andrew, I thought, I'm not going to find anything in this cookbook. Well, I have. I have found, let me give you an example. Chinese almond cookies. Those sounded really good. What else did I find? Let's see. Tea pie. So you're making a pie, but you're putting tea in it. What are some other ones I found? Let's see. This is Swiss tea nut squares. And those sounded good to me. But then on back here in the back, they do have recipes, like I said, that do not have tea. Like if you're having afternoon tea or something like that. So, okay, so this is for coconut bars. Kevin and I both like coconut. And that's one of the things, too, I look for when I'm searching for a recipe. It's something I want to make something that will actually appeal to us, that we're going to want to eat. Peanut butter muffins. That sounded good. And then the last one I found was, let's see, I have to turn it to the right page. Peanut rum balls. So I made some rum balls this year for the channel. Well, I made some for 2025 on the channel, some authentic German rum balls. And so I already have the rum, and I thought, well, that sounds really good. I like peanuts, like rum, so that'll go well. So those are the ones that I found in here, but then I found a lot of other ones, and I just thought you all would be interested in seeing all the little papers that were in there, because it's always fun. And a lot of these books do have like I have found like a recipe where somebody has written something, like they've made they've amended something, or they've put a little note or something like that. And so I always like finding stuff like that. So whoever gets my cookbooks after I'm gone, there's going to be a lot of little notes for everything I've made. I've put a little note of the date I made it and what I thought about it. In this section of the video, I'm undecorating for Christmas. And as you can see, we're in the dining room, and I'm going to be taking everything off this wall that is Christmas and putting it on the dining room table. And then when I get everything over on the dining room table, I will work with it from there. So there have been so many years where I have thought that I got all the Christmas decorations, and I look around and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot something. Kevin and I both are really bad about forgetting stuff. So this way, I feel like if I work section by section like this, I usually get everything. Kevin does not help with this part. This is something that I can do myself. This is something that I actually enjoy it. You know, a lot of people might not enjoy this, but I enjoy the process of putting everything out to decorate and then getting everything put back up. I do not enjoy having to go up and down the steps because that is a lot. But I enjoy this part quite a bit. It's just cleaning and it's getting everything organized, and I'm a very organized person, and so I enjoy stuff like this. And, Kevin just doesn't need to help with this part. Normally, when we're decorating, he does the outside, so he'll do the porch, and there's really not a ton to do on the porch, but he does that, and then he puts the tree up. We have the 2 small trees stay up all the time up in the attic, so, I mean, you're literally just pulling them downstairs, but he puts up we have a flock tree in the den, and then we have a big tree in the living room, and he puts those trees up, and then he puts the lights on those trees, and then, if, we have any beads or anything like that, he does that part. But really, as far as, like, putting ornaments up and stuff like that, he would if I asked him, and he has before, but really, he leaves that up to me. Now, in a little bit, you'll see him, uh, helping me take ornaments off the tree, and that's because he was up in a ladder, and it was just easier for him. Right now, what I'm doing is I am sorting these little baubles out, these, ornaments. I decided that I'm gonna use all the red and white and pink ones, for Valentine's Day, and silver for Valentine's Day, and then I put all the rest of them in this container, which this really came in handy, and I'm doing the same thing here, I'm just sorting. And, I just thought these would look really pretty. I have some swans and stuff that the backs of them are hollowed out to where you can put stuff in them, and those will look pretty for Valentine's Day. And then I might switch those out for, St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, right now, we're back in the dining room, and I'm just wrapping stuff up. I'm wrapping stuff up that is on this table that I wanna, make sure doesn't get broken, and so I put it in tissue paper, and honestly, the tissue paper probably isn't much help, but it's better than nothing, and Kevin and I are very, very careful with this stuff anyway, so when we carry these totes upstairs, we make sure that, they we're not hard on them, they don't bounce off anything, we're not throwing them around. But now, we're in the hallway, and this was a new tree this year. I went to Walmart, and if you watch the haul video, I did a Christmas haul video, and, I bought this tree. I was so glad that Walmart still had these because if you live, in an apartment or you're single and you don't have the energy to have a huge tree, those little flock trees, I would totally recommend those. They're so pretty. And this is the flock tree in the den. This one's honestly really easy to put together. I think I put it together the first year. I don't remember, but it comes in like 3 different pieces. It's really easy to put together. The one in the living room is a pain. It you have to put in like piece by piece, and it's very, very time consuming. But I have all these shiny and bright ornaments, and you can find them at HomeGoods. You can also find them at Dillard's. So, if you wanna pay a lot of money, then you get them at Dillard's, but if you want them at a more reasonable price, and that does not mean they're cheap at all, because 'cause they're not, but that's where I bought mine from was HomeGoods, and this tree was just beautiful with all those shiny and bright ornaments. Some of them I had to, like, fiddle with some of the boxes here and there because some of them have very specific boxes, but I figured it out, and it ended up working out. So, this is that big tree that I told you, Kevin, to Kevin, it's a pain to put it up, but once it's up, it's absolutely beautiful, and you can see it has a perfect shape to it. So I start off taking off the big ornaments, and then in this popcorn tin, I've said before in these videos, I always put up my the doll heads in there, and the stuff that is really, really breakable that I don't wanna put in this big blue tote, because you'll see Some people have kept every single box for their ornaments, and I just don't see how you have room for them all. But I did not keep any boxes for mine. So mine, I guess I just learned from my mom. My mom would put all the ornaments in a tote like this, and they were always fine. If you're careful, they're going to be okay. And so that's what the same thing that I do. I put all the ornaments in one big tote, and they all fit. So I was kind of worried that they weren't all going to fit because I bought some new ornaments. I didn't buy a bunch that go in this box. Now, I did keep the shiny and bright boxes, so those are easier just to put in those boxes. But this is like miscellaneous ornaments. So I was glad because I had bought some miscellaneous ornaments, and I was glad they did fit in there without any big deal. Now, this is Kevin getting all those little bitty ornaments off the top of the tree, and then he's taking off the beads and stuff like that. And I don't know if I showed him. Here's the lights. He gets dizzy. I didn't show him doing the rest of it. So because I moved in the dining room, and I thought he's probably tired of me filming him. So I moved in the dining room, and this was pretty much the last thing I had to take down was this little tree in the dining room. And it's so pretty. I love this. It's the same one that's in the hall, but with completely different ornaments. I bought a new calendar for 2026. I bought the Bonnie White Folk Art Calendar. Last year, I bought the Linda Nelson Stocks calendar, and it says special edition, but I don't know why it says that. Some of them say that, but there's no reason for it to say that, though. It's not a special edition to me, anyway. But the Linda Nelson Stocks, you can buy it on Amazon, and it's very convenient to be able to buy it on Amazon. And, we like ordering from Amazon. We do that often. But I started looking at the Linda Nelson Stocks calendar for 2026, and it had the exact same pictures as this calendar. And because they show, some of them on the back. And I started looking at it, and it's like, these are the same pictures. And then there were comments saying they've been ordering these Lane calendars for years, these Linda Nelson Stocks, and they've never ever had an exact duplicate calendar until 2025, 2026. So and you know what, just to be completely honest, I went over this calendar probably in a January vlog last year, 2025, and I really was not pleased with the December picture. I don't know. Some of them just, this, if I can show you, this was the December picture. And it's just boring. It's just boring. It's a boring picture. My favorite was the Halloween, which was this one. Love it. Lots and lots of details. I also love the August. August has a lighthouse, gorgeous blue, and there were a couple of others that I liked. But I have had the Bonnie White Folk Art Calendar before, and last year the only reason I didn't order it is because I couldn't get it on Amazon, and I thought, well, I would rather have convenience. So this year, I'm like, I'm going to get that calendar because it's the one I really want. And I had to order it from calendars.com. Now, I think you can go to Bonnie White, her website, and order them. But I got it through calendars.com. It didn't take long to get to my house. It was all like, if you're worried, like if this is a legitimate website, whatever, because I've been burned before from websites. This one's legit. It did cost me about $30. So that's for the calendar. That's for shipping and everything. It's about $30. But this is a full-size wall calendar, so it is big. And it's a 12-month calendar, January to December. And so I want to show you the pictures. I have not looked at it myself. I have not opened it, so I'm opening it with you. And it is in a folder, and I'm filming this myself. Kevin's not in here to direct sometimes he'll point the camera for me, so I'm filming, so hopefully I'll be able to get these good. But you can see that the picture goes right off the bat, you notice that it goes from side to side. Like it covers, there's no like picture frame around it. Whereas the Lang, there is a, like a picture frame around each one. So it doesn't fill up the entire square. And this picture does fill up the entire square, which I really like that. So this is January. And all of these pictures you're going to notice have this amount of detail. It's just, they're beautiful, and you keep looking at them. And I've said before, my mom used to keep these hanging up on her wall. She kept them in the bathroom. So she kept them in the bathroom, and she had one of those wooden hangers that held the wall calendars, and she would change them. And I don't even know what happened to that. But she would pull it down, and to make conversation with Andrew when he was little, she would ask him questions about it. And she would say, first of all, do you see this or do you see that? But what do you think's going on here? And what do you think, like, what do you think the three little girls are doing? Or, you know, you can tell one of them's putting a button on the snowman, and look at the dog sniffing the horse. And, you know, you could tell your own story. You could tell what time of day do you think it is. So this picture, to me, I would say this is early evening, maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. Maybe it's starting to get dark because the lights are on in the windows. But there's a lot of stories that you could tell from these pictures. I would also like to point out that the squares are nice and big. So when Andrew and Ashley were growing up, going to school, and if they had after school activities, if they had doctor's appointments, if I had a doctor's appointment, or if Kevin had a meeting or something like that, there's plenty of room in these squares. You know, if we had to take Guido to the vet or pug, and then it has the holidays, it has New Year's Day, this has Martin Luther listed for the 19th. So, you know, it does have plenty of room for you to write on there. Okay, so I won't do this much talking for all of them, but I wanted to tell you what I like about these calendars. And this is beautiful. I love it that she was not afraid to use a lot of blues. And there's a lot of different shades of blue. But I think some people would be, like, I would probably, if I was to draw this or to color this, or paint this, I would be afraid that, oh, I can't use too much blue because it's too much. It'll be overboard. Bonnie White was not afraid to use the different shades of blue and to make the house. The house is the highlight, but then you get that really blue sky behind there. And again, all that detail. So that's February. And then in March, we have a man out front, and he is selling an elixir. Wonder what he's, is this going to be for an upset stomach? Is it going to be for a headache? What is his elixir going to cure? Crookshanks, I like the name, snake oil elixir. So they have a mercantile and like a little pharmacy. And then there's a church and a house and a barn, or I'm assuming that, no, I wonder if that's a school because it has a bell at the top. I bet that's a school. And then we have a tavern with dining and lodging. So that's beautiful. And it looks like it's 7 o'clock. So surely it's not 7 o'clock in the morning, because that's early for all those people to be out. But then again, it's really sunny for 7 at night. So I'm not sure. Is it 7? It's hard to tell. I think it's about 7. Okay. And then April, I love this. Love hot air balloons. I would never go up in one myself, ever. But I absolutely love them. I think they're wonderful to watch. And so you have the hot air balloons, and she's waving to somebody up in the balloon. And maybe that's her sister and her dad or something. Or maybe that's the mom and that's her daughter and her dad. But then you get the homes and the farmers, the sheep. And then this is May. And May is all we're out on the farm. So now that does kind of look like what we saw earlier. So maybe that was a barn. Maybe that wasn't a schoolhouse. Because I always think of all these houses together as a continuation of one picture. So like there's one big picture and you're seeing sides. So like there's that church we saw earlier. Well, this is what would have been behind it. And this is a barn. So I guess it was a barn and not a schoolhouse. Look, this dog had puppies. So the puppies, and then there's some cats here, and then you get the chickens and the little chicks. Okay, and so then we have June, and for June, of course, I'm sure it's hot outside, so she has her umbrella to shade her from the sun. This little boy is playing with, it's one of those metal rings that I've never seen anybody like actually do that. I've only seen that in like old TV shows, but use one of those rings. I wonder why that's something that went away and never came back. Because like you still have hula hoops and stuff, but I never see anybody do anything like that. Okay, and then in July, of course, it's very patriotic. So we have our patriotic bunting. We have our American flag hanging from the house. Bunting on this one. The little boy's holding the flag. Her dress has like a red, white, and blue theme to it. I like it. It's not overdone, but it is red, white, and blue. We have the little red flowers. And of course, now we can see a view of the lake. So we have a lake with the ducks. We have some cows here and some flowers. And then we go over to August. Ooh, and they are beekeepers. So we have a Clover Honey company. I guess it's a company, a honey company. And they have their hives. And then he's checking on a hive out at the tree. Notice they have no covering on. They have no, like this must be like back before we had the suits, the full suits with the headgear and all that stuff. Oh, look, now we have rabbits. We have a mom and a dad, and we have 5 baby rabbits, little bunnies. Cute. Okay, and then for September, you see what I mean about all these pictures. Every single picture has nailed it. There hasn't been a boring picture in the bunch. I love these. Okay, so now we're on the water. And this looks like to me like it would be somewhere up north. Like, does this not say like, I don't know, like Michigan or someplace like that to you all? You have to let me know. It says Gulls Landing, and then this is Starfish. This is Chowder. Oh, so I'm an idiot. This is probably supposed to be Maine, right? Maine or Connecticut or someplace like that because it's on the water, and it's going to be on the East Coast because that's where Chowder, that's where it's famous. So I bet you this is going to be someplace like that. Okay. Not Michigan. Okay, so you can see the church up here. You can see the sailboat, and are those? They're not pigeons. What are those called? I can't think of the names of the seagulls. Seagulls. So I've never been to the Northeast. I'm assuming there's a lot of seagulls in the Northeast. Okay, and then here we go. The grand picture right here. This is what you wait all year for, right? Is October. Because this picture, in most of these calendars that you get like this is like the picture to land on. It's a 13 Witches Lane. It looks like there's a little mouse in the mailbox. We have 2 real black cats, but then we have a child dressed up as a black cat. Trick or treat banner, and it looks, I don't know if that's a big sister taking her brother and maybe a sister or brother. This one's dressed up as an angel, and I swear it looks like she has an owl, and there's a witch. There's 2 black cats in the window of this big old house. There's a witch and a black cat up here on a broom. There's lots of looks like skeletons back here, and pumpkins. So this will, I will love having that in October. And then 2 more to go. We are at November. And again, this is perfect. This is a warm, very warm picture. I love all the lights in the windows. We have a baby carriage here, so you know what? Maybe if we had looked at the beginning of the year, one of these women may have been pregnant, and it's because now she's given birth. So maybe if we look closely, there's going to be a pregnant woman. Who knows? We have a black dog here, some chickens. Looks like the church, the minister's shaking hands with somebody out here. And then December, oh gosh, that's beautiful. That really is stunning. That is a Christmas card right there. And I would be shocked if she did not sell Christmas cards. If she doesn't, she needs to, because I would buy a box of these Christmas cards. That is absolutely beautiful. And you could have that in a frame and hang it up. I would have that hanging on my wall. And you know what else too? If she doesn't do puzzles, she should do puzzles, because this would be a gorgeous puzzle. Any of these pictures, honestly, would make a gorgeous puzzle. And then have you seen those puzzles where like they'll have like different pictures? Okay, so like the 12 months, and then they'll put it all together in one big puzzle. It'll join together. I've seen them, like people have taken pictures in their floor, and it's like, oh my gosh. But if you do one at a time, then it wouldn't be as overwhelming. But she should totally do puzzles, and I don't think I've ever seen puzzles from her. But this is just, it's stunning. And I usually, I'm not as big of a fan of the Christmas as I am the October, the Halloween one, but I am this. I think this is just as good as that one. Honestly, this trumps the other calendar tenfold. I mean, I like this so much more. So if I have to order it from calendars.com every year, as long as they're different pictures, I will continue to do that, because to me, yes, it was $30, but this is like artwork. It's art. You're getting a different picture every single month for your wall, and so I think it's totally worth it. We are in Target, and we're in the front of Target. So this used to be the dollar bin, and some of this stuff is still $1, but it's also the prices can go up from there. I think they start at $1, and you can see there's a lot of empty shelves, but I wanted to film a little bit because no one was in here. Very few people were in here. We were here early, and if you don't know, that's the best time to shop at Target, is early when they first open, because not a lot of people are out, and you can film a couple of things. So I'm just showing you the Valentine stuff that's up front right now. I'm sure they'll get more out probably by the time this video comes out. That'll give it a few days, and then they'll have even more stuff out, because our Target, this location at least, they always have lots of workers. So even though I'm telling you, we're here early, and there's not a lot of like customers here, there are people working in every single area. Like, it's hard to go to an area without running into people working, which is good. I'm glad. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm just showing you, this is all the favorite day stuff. I did not buy any of this favorite day stuff at all. Because conversation hearts and stuff like that, I would just as soon buy a name brand. I'd rather buy the Brock's brand if I was going to buy some. And then you have these favorite day kits. You have the cake pops and stuff like that you can make. Then these are just the regular bags of M&Ms and Sour Patch Kids and York Peppermint Patties. Basically, they just, it's the same candy. They just keep switching it out for each holiday. And then this is a bunch of Target branded stuff on that side. And then on this side, you, of course, get the organic and, I guess, healthier Yum Earth. I don't know if that stuff has dyes or not, but that's what was on that side. This is the Spritz brand, and these are classroom activities. And then they also had sets where you could, instead of having to decorate your Valentine's box all yourself, they give you a little help. They give you stuff where they'll help you make a box. I thought it was cool. I spotted these Stranger Things Valentines. I think 11 looks awful in that picture on the front. I mean, that it's just none of them look good, honestly, in those pictures. I wouldn't give those out. Um, but they had Wicked, that's popular right now. They had a lot of cute ones. I always think it's interesting at Halloween time to see, like, okay, what costumes are gonna be popular this year, but then when Valentine's rolls around, it's like, okay, what is the popular Valentine's this year? And I guarantee you those Stranger Things, even though they're ugly, they will sell. They should have used actual pictures of the people, and it would have been a lot better than what they have. But these, they had some teddy bears. They had this section. This is like Easter stuff. They usually start getting a couple of end caps out of Easter stuff. You see this little bird right here? I bought one of those. I did buy one of those because I thought it's vintage looking, and I have one just like it, except it's a little bit smaller that I bought years ago at Christmas, and I put it on the tree, the flock tree that's in the dining room. That's the tree that I put it on every year. And when I saw that, it was like, oh, yeah, I have to have that. Because it's so pretty. And then here are all the boxes of chocolate. They had a ton of Whitmans. I was pointing to those and Russell Stover. So, and imagine all of those are going to sell out. It's just crazy. And Kevin thought this was so cute. That little plush toy. And then these, if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is linked below this video. I posted pictures of all of these hearts because with each one, you got like a little character. Now we are in World Market. And World Market had, they had a lot more Valentine's stuff out than I thought they would. And they had some cute stuff. Look, they even have pasta. So if you want some different pasta, go to World Market. But also Home Goods usually has some different pasta as well. They had all the Lent and the Ghirardelli. They had some Edward Mark snappers. And then they had the Jammy Dodgers, which we did buy some of these Jammy Dodgers. And I thought about buying every single Jammy Dodger again and reviewing them all in one big video, but then I didn't end up doing that because they're 4 something a piece, and I was gonna have to buy, I don't know, it was like 6 packages or something. So I did buy a couple, but not all of them. And then these are just some of the things they've gotten out so far. Now we are in Meyer. So Meyer, you'll notice it's kind of hit and miss. On this side of the store, on one side of the store, they tend to get like all the craftsy stuff and like clothes or like little gifts and stuff like that for Valentine's Day. And this is the decor. And then on the other side of the store, like on the food side of the store, they'll put a whole display of the candy and stuff like that. They used to put candy on this side of the store too. Way back, I swear they would have 2 displays way back. They would have one on this side of the store, and then they would have one on the food side of the store as well. And honestly, I think they should still do it that way because some people just go in to buy a gallon of milk. So if you're just going in to buy a gallon of milk, you're going in on the food side and you're going to run in, get your milk, and you're going to go, and you're not even going to see the stuff. And so I think they should have this stuff, the food and the decor on both sides. So like, this is the side with the candy and stuff. But like, what if, you might see some Valentine's Day placemats or something if they put them on this side of the store too. You wouldn't even know what's available over there. So it'd be nice. I don't know. I guess it doesn't make sense to have 2 sets of holiday stuff, but it would just be nice because it's a huge store. And these are just the regular Valentine's things. It's kind of hard to see in these bins, me filming them. But I think this is a good way to do it. It's like little cubbies. Like little cubbies that you would see at school or something like that. And it's also a nice, neat way to keep these. I wish Home Goods would adopt something like this, some form of organization. Now we are in the Dollar Tree, and This, I didn't actually have to do a voiceover for this part, but I thought, well, what the heck? This Dollar Tree is very, very quiet. It is, I think it came in late September, early October, something like that in our town. It's the second one, and it's just very quiet, and there's not as many people that come to this one, and it's very orderly and you can see everything, and they did have some Easter like, little Easter clings and stuff for the windows. We bought those a couple of times when the kids were younger, and then Christina, I don't know if she still is into those, but I know she used to buy the clings for the windows. I think she's always been into them more than me, but you can see here they have, boxes of Haribo, and then they have the SpongeBob candy, and then here they've already got Peeps out. Already have cotton candy, and I think there was tropical and, Dr. Pepper and all kinds of Peeps. I don't know if they're gonna have any dipped Peeps out for, Valentine's Day. I haven't seen any so far, but that doesn't mean that they won't have them. But you can see they're pretty well stocked at this Dollar Tree, and it's very clean, very organized, and, anytime I need to go to the Dollar Tree, will be my choice to go here because it's just so nice and neat, and, they're of course, it's a new store, so there's a lot of pride in a new store. But I always like to see, do they have anything new? I told Kevin I was surprised that they have Copper's chocolate because Copper's chocolate is a more expensive chocolate, but they have it. And I don't know what Kevin was looking at right there, but then we saw these little bears, and then Kevin noticed the red and pink bears. And then on down here, they had some mailboxes, just decorative, not to actually, like, put Valentines in. I think those are just supposed to be decorative. But now we are at Marshall's, and this Marshall's clip is gonna be really short because it's just this end cap. This is all they had at Marshall's, really, that I could film because they were busy. And this is actually at, I think we were at TJ Maxx right here. I think by this point we were at TJ Maxx and they had gotten a couple things out, but not that much. They're still trying to get rid of all the Christmas stuff before they get out a bunch of Valentine's Day stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you had a very safe and happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.